Hello, and welcome to the Author to Authority podcast. I'm Juanita Wootton-Radko, podcast co-host. The Writer's Workshop features shorter episodes focusing on the nuts and bolts of the writing process. But first, let's improve our vocabulary with the word of the day. Pedantic. Of or related to being a pedant. One who is unimaginative or unduly emphasizes minutiae in the presentation or use of knowledge. 2, boring, unimaginative. If you're going to use pedantic in a sentence, be warned, it's always considered insulting. I don't wish to seem pedantic, but I'm going to be talking about some very small details today. On today's episode, we're looking at when to draw the line, compound words, and hyphens. As I write and record the script for this month's episode, we are in a province-wide lockdown under stay-at-home orders. It's been a long time, and many of us have had to juggle homeschooling our children along with managing work-from-home employment. The paragraph I just read to you had several hyphenated words. Province-wide, stay-at-home, work from home. Those are small dashes. Hyphens are short, straight lines positioned at mid-level that look like minus sign that we use in mathematics. So why am I being pedantic about what hyphens look like? Because there's several symbols that are similar in appearance to the hyphen that have different jobs. Now, perhaps you've seen an underscore. An underscore is at the baseline of the letters, and it's used specifically in computing language to make sure to hold a place in code where you can't necessarily just use a space. You often see it in early file namings where they would have an underscore between each word instead of a space. A hyphen is a punctuation mark that's used to join words or parts of words. It's not interchangeable with other types of dashes. A dash is longer than a hyphen and is commonly used to indicate a range or a pause. There are 2 common types of dashes. The N dash, which is about the width of a capital N, that's why it's called an N dash, and the M dash, the same width as a capital M, like marvelous. Before we dash off any further, let's talk about compound words. Compound words can be 2 separate words like ice cream, peanut butter, and hot dog. These are called open compounds. Notice that each of these words have unique meaning on their own. You have a different image in your mind for ice than you do for ice cream. Full moons, high schools, roller coasters are all open compound words. So can you guess what a closed compound is? A compound word that has no space between the 2 smaller words. Hairdresser, laptop, grasshopper. These are all closed compound words. Finally, we use hyphens to create hyphenated compound words like part-time, mid-level, high-tech. So when do we use hyphens in a compound word? There's several rules, but let's look at 2 basic rules today. If the combined words form a unit of meaning, then you're going to use hyphens. A mother-in-law with hyphens is your spouse's parent. A mother-in-law means that your parent has a job relating to the legal profession. Rule number 2, when the compound word is used to modify a noun, then when it comes before the noun, it should be hyphenated. But if the words follow the noun, it's 2 separate words. I know. Sometimes it just seems like I'm making this grammar stuff up, but it's a rule. I'm sorry. We ate deep fried chicken at the picnic. The chicken he brought to the picnic was deep fried. Remember, language changes over time. Hyphenated words tend to become closed compound words, which is, like I said, single words with no hyphens. In fact, a word that has been changing over the past 2 decades is email. Email is now more often written as one single word instead of e-mail. It's becoming increasingly common. I'm sorry. The best thing you can do is look up the word in your favorite dictionary, and it will tell you whether or not it should have a hyphen. Hang in there and stick with it. It's all part of the challenging creative process that gets you to your final goal, a professional finished book that shares your message with the world. That's it for today's Writer's Workshop. I'm Juanita Wootton-Radko. Thank you for joining me on the Author to Authority podcast.